What is Anno 1800? Anno 1800 is the next instalment in the ever-popular Anno series. Effectively, a city builder, Anno has focused on the future for the past decade or so, but now we finally get to take a look at the past again. Start as the owner of a trade outpost on a new island in the old world. Build up your colony, advance through the ages, and expand your empire by peaceful means, or not so peaceful means, if those are more to your playstyle. So, now we know, let's dive into what really is Anno 1800. Hi folks, I am Divok from Project 65 and welcome back to our What is Anno 1800 video. Anno 1800 feels like it's taken some of the best parts of each city builder I've enjoyed and thrown them together. The building and town planning strategy feels very Cities Skylines, or just plain Anno, and with good reason. None have done it better yet. Create districts as a natural circumstance rather than a physical construct, with how you need to spread your industrial areas and develop a service structure that will need to easy access to all of your citizens. Other key comparisons for me, at least, would be Banished, the indie medieval town builder / survival game, and a German card game. So why Banished? Well, mostly because at any point, if you fail catastrophically to keep a balance of all things, the game will practically be over. Manage a number of different materials with the right strategy, and you'll become a grand empire after having started with a handful of country bumpkins and your one starting structure. The German card game I mentioned is Oh My Goods, or at least that's the English translation of it. It's a game where you collect and build different industries, the key strategy being to link up particular production chains, and those chains are a huge feature of Anno 1800. Don't get worried when I say production chain though. I know there are many bad examples of how to do this that are incredibly complex, but with this fantastic user interface, Anno 1800 goes the extra mile to make sure you can't possibly go wrong. Under each menu for each type of citizen, for example let's say you've just started the game and you're looking at the farmers menu, you will see each of the final buildings you can create. If they require a production chain, there'll be a little arrow on them suggesting as such. Clicking on one, let's say we want to make some clothing. We will see the resulting production chain, ending with the building we want. To create clothes, we'll first need to produce wool. This is a fairly simple chain, but as you move through the ages, you will encounter much more complex chains, such as this one for canned food. Pay close attention as to the needs for each end product, as well as how long it takes for each of the pieces to be built. Sometimes it won't simply be one sheep farm for one tailor. You might find that multiple farms are required to feed wheat to a single mill if you want to run efficiently. And with travel time taken into account, you start to see the possible complexity that Anno 1800 provides. The perfect city, nigh impossible. These production chains, as I alluded to, fit into a wider progression system of ages. When the game first begins, you'll have access only to the Farmers tab, and not all the buildings in that tab either. As you progress through the game, increasing your population, you will eventually get the opportunity to upgrade one of your houses. If you meet all of the inhabitants' luxury needs, that is. Upgrading a house like this will grant you access to the next age, and therefore the next tab, in this case workers. Here you'll move away from very simple farms and gathering to brick production, weaponry, and most importantly, soap. I jest about soap, but it's actually exceedingly strong, as if you have a jail nation on your map, they pay handsomely for soap when trading. This age tends to be where you'll start to overproduce one or two goods that you may start trading, for example, but I'll cover that later. As workers, you need to start to spread your population to unlock each of the new buildings, and then eventually upgrade a worker's house so as to unlock the next age, artisans. Then you repeat this as you go through the final stages, but even in my longest save file, it only saw me playing for nearly 10 hours and I didn't get past artisans. That isn't to say you can't of course, I just tend to enjoy a slower pace to my city building. What I mean to say is, the ceiling for the game is actually pretty high, but that doesn't mean you can't take things slow. There really is a playstyle to suit most people in Anno 1800. Outside of the chain of production and evolution through the ages, as with games like Cities Skylines for example, you must appease your citizens. Part of this is the upgrade system, making sure your farmers have clothes and your workers have bread. But if you don't also have a police station and a fire station, you will really feel it later on. As with the aforementioned Cities Skylines, placing these services within reach of all your citizens is vital, so even more town planning strategy has to come into effect here. However, unlike with other games, where you might be able to react to a freak fire by dropping more fire stations, in Anno 1800, when building a new service station, the people that work there must then be trained, which further delays how quickly they will respond. In Anno, you need to be ahead of the game. When you settle a new island or perhaps break out into a new neighbourhood because your city has become too crowded, you absolutely need to remember to drop your services down earlier rather than later. And rightly so. It's a clever mechanic to deal with a bit of cheaty manoeuvre we've pulled in these games for years. If you didn't have enough to deal with on your own island, there are also other players, or AI to deal with. Improve relations with your neighbours through bribes, sheer flattery, or completing quests for them. As with any political mechanic in these games, generating a higher score with another AI player will increase their likelihood of accepting trade route proposals, or eventually alliances. Trade routes can be well worth the work, as in my longest campaign to date I made the majority of my money through very profitable trade routes with the AI players, and was the sole reason I got through the worker phase without going bankrupt. There are of course two sides to each coin though, and just as you can trade with the AI players, you can also declare war on them. Build frigates, gunboats and ships of the line to blockade enemy ports and take out their dockyards to claim victory. The spoils are their territory, and one less competitor in the waters. I must actually praise the AI on Anno 2. Usually AI opponents let you down and make the game a bit easy or predictable, but in Anno 1800 the game somewhat feels alive as they trade or war with you quite regularly by themselves. They also expand quite quickly. I never got to the new world or a new island myself before one of the AI made it to a new island or the new world first. If you ever get bored of simply building or need some quick cash, the quest system in Anno fills that blank. This is not a bland game that way. For a city builder, it can feel quite action-packed. Quests come from your AI friends, your citizens, and in the form of great expeditions. The first two are pretty simple. You'll see a star icon over an AI ship or a citizen, and they will ask you to do something simple, usually a fetch quest, in exchange for some decent money. However, they can also ask for some weird and wonderful things, not to mention you to go to battle. The expeditions is where this truly shines though. Carefully select which ship you'll send out and with what supplies, then while your ship is out you'll occasionally get prompts to choose what your crew should do. They are hunted by wild beasts on an unknown island. Do you tell them to run away, try to fight it, or did you supply them with wood to build a trap? Do you speak to the Amazoness warriors, or try to buy them over with gifts? I haven't seen the same expedition twice yet, and they're all pretty interesting, with great rewards like rare animals for your zoo should you actually come back from it. Anno 1800 is all of this in a gorgeous environment. Games are easier to get stuck into when they are absurdly pretty. But don't worry, Anno 1800 warns you every 2 hours of continuous play, first suggesting that you might want a cup of coffee, and eventually after 8 hours or so, it tells you to spend some time with your family. Yes, I managed to get that warning. It was the open beta weekend, what else was I supposed to do? And that speaks volumes about what I really think about Anno 1800. If you have a day or more to spare, then this game will certainly fill your appetite. It is that game you deep dive into when your family's away and you want a distraction, or you've got the day off work for whatever reason and just want to burn the hours. Anno 1800 is beautiful, with thought-provoking strategy and exciting gameplay considering it's a city builder. But most of all, it's an escape to your very own 19th century island. How will you live your new life? So that is Anno 1800, a brilliant blend of city builder that you'll be able to play for days on end. Only aware of time because there are in-game reminders to stretch your legs. If you enjoyed the content, please do like and subscribe as it really helps the channel out. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at DIB0K so you never miss another video. I've been Divok of Project 65 and I will see you next time.